Back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of 32 properties, so it's a big list. And coming off the weekend, the link actually, because it's from a couple days, you'll notice that the prices are kind of all over as they're up and they're down and everything. So let's just click that price column and you can actually sort them by price. And then what you'll see is the whole email gets reorganized. So the first one up, the lowest price one of the day is 1380 Costigan, number 29, 318.9. Hardwood floors, stainless steel appliances. I think they're out to lunch. So this is the main floor plus the basement downstairs. There's one bedroom upstairs, there's two downstairs, and there's a folding table. I have no idea why that belongs in a real estate photo. Anyways, I don't think they're doing very well. I think that price is way too high. I would never recommend someone pay that. 1491 Maple, number 214 is at 324.9. Two bedroom plus a den. I don't know if that kitchen really impresses me very much, but even having a fireplace in a condo is not a bad thing. And overall, for the size, when you look at the actual size 1275, it's a good deal, but I would rather get a three bedroom at that price at about 325, but I think they'll do okay. This one here on Maple is at 345 and it's 20,000 more. But the condo fees are $200 less, so it's actually cheaper, believe it or not, to buy this home. And it's about 200 and something square feet smaller. So I appreciate the value in the previous one. This is in the Green Life building, this one at 383 Main. I like the kitchen. It tends to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more open concept than we see some of the other ones. And you've got a good looking countertop and nice appliances as well. I don't know if I find they're both screaming deals. I have a feeling the Maple one's going to sell before this, but the Green Life is a very popular building. People like the concept of really lower fees, having a net zero building where the amount of energy used is actually the same as the energy recaptured through solar panels, geothermal heat, and all the rest of it. So this one in Costigan has the building right behind it there, and so it would probably be my least favorite choice at this price point. It's also very long and narrow. That's your family room there, so you really can't configure it the same way that you could with some of the Madamies and even like an Emery model, which is what you see I think coming up in two listings. So this one on Barclay is just under 1,400 square feet. It's a semi. Looks like the lawns have been kept very well. Nice gardens. And inside it actually doesn't look too bad at all. A little bit of a plain kitchen there, but you can work with those cabinets. They are wood. You can stain them or do what you want to do to them. 379.7 I think is a very, very attractive price. This one is probably not going to last very long, especially if you've got the rec room down in the basement. So expect this one to sell very quickly. And if you want to see anything in the list, anything over to the side, just let us know. Just email us, call us. We'll get you in as fast as possible. Mortimer Crescent is 379.9. I would take this over Costigan any day. Better location. We're dealing with a 1,370 square foot home, but there's actually a better layout. You've got a dining room plus a family room plus a kitchen, and you got to be careful with the white cabinets. Sometimes they can look cheap. The off-white, the cream, the ivory, that's a good color. It makes the cabinet look better, but the stark white can look a little bit like those Home Depot cheapos. But it's a good floor plan. You've got two bathrooms upstairs. The hidden cost on this, you've got an air conditioner you can see there, which is good, but you're looking at window coverings. You're looking at some extra cost there. Fencing is going to be another cost that you're going to have to budget for. And with some of the other homes, they've actually already had that stuff put in. This one on Kavanaugh is 409.9, and it's a 1510 square foot home. And so it's an end unit, sides onto a park, hardwood stairs. These guys knew the upgrades to put in here, the nice color choices and all the rest of it. So they should do pretty well, I think, too. I don't see any problems with that. When you're siding onto a park, though, there are some people that say, hey, I don't want to hear kids at all hours of the night. Heslop is a bungalow. I've seen this one. It's actually got a detached garage, which is a value booster for sure. The home itself, there's the kitchen, and then it actually opens up to an addition in the back too, and you can see all this area is all addition. It walks out to the, there's a patio there. It's a nice little spot. You could just imagine having a drink out here. It's a covered patio. There's a hot tub. It's a little rough in spots. They actually took the area between the two rooms and they actually knocked the wall out and put a sliding door, but that's easy to fix. It's not structural work. And downstairs, again, the work is okay. I think the value's there. If you look at what just sold out over on Robinwood, at 424.9, these guys are doing okay. You're a nice distance walk to downtown, and you're close to a lot of stuff. 63 by 120-foot lot is good too. So Houston, we have a problem because there's no photos. Semi-detached finished basement, 1650 square feet plus probably that finished. That's all I know about it. You can find larger homes for the same price. There's no doubt about it. This one on Yates is 1860 square feet, and you've got a little photobomb by the dog there. It's a nice floor plan. You've got living dining in the front, and then you've got family kitchen in the back. There's your living room right there that they're using as a home office. 4 bedrooms plus laundry upstairs. And it's still high to me. I still feel like this one's high. Megson Trail is 449, semi-detached, unfinished basement. And so the total amount of living space is actually quoted in this one as being 1969 square feet, and it's a 3-bedroom. So you know those 3 bedrooms are a good size, 9-foot ceilings on the main floor. I mean, again, you start getting up into the mid 450s, and you're going, like, could someone buy a detached home? This one on Woodward, saw it on the weekend. There was a somewhat renovated home, not extremely well, that sold in the 430s last year. Same model as this one. This one's at 449. It's got butcher block countertops. It's got some weird stuff in the master bedroom. There's still 3 bedrooms here. It's old. I mean, you've got that old patterned carpet downstairs in the closet. It's a decent sized piece of land. It backs onto a park too, so I think they're going to do okay. I think there's not a lot for sale right now in Dorset Park, and they should do very well. There's one across the street that I think, for the value difference, is far superior. Cedar Hedge is at 455. Not sure the model. It almost looks like a Lindsay or a Poddington model, because you've got a living dining that's the same dimension, hardwood floors there, family room, you've got a kitchen plus 3 bedrooms upstairs. Well, it's a Powell model. It says right there. I didn't notice that when I first read it. So you're about 1,900 square feet. At 455, don't expect a miraculously amazing home, but the value is definitely there. One on 4th Line sold recently for around that price too. So Azleton, 459. And so we're dealing with the townhouse here, and they've quoted the total square footage. You've got a lot of cabinets in the kitchen, which I think will definitely help them out. 459 for a townhouse, and this builder did a creamy kind of tub. It almost looks retro to me, but you're looking at 2152 square foot home. Now that probably includes the finished basement, so keep that in mind when you're looking at it. If it's 2152 plus the finished basement, maybe they have a shot, but if that's the total finished area, it'll be a tough one. So these agents really need to make a clear discrepancy between, is it total living space or is it the square footage, which does not include the basement. If it's not clear, it's very annoying. So Ruddy Crescent, 467.6, which is kind of an oddball price. One in the area that was basically the same model as this one, sold recently right around that 470 mark, 469. It's got a kitchen plus 1 room. Like, I can't stand these floor plans. I like the fact that the basement's finished by the builder. That's a good thing. But I just think, and there's duplicate pictures and everything, I just think that the main floor, it's very narrow. You don't get a lot of functional living space, and it's just not my favorite. And a semi at this price should really be blowing your pants off. So this is the one on Woodward at 479, and it's got some nice finishes inside. It's not perfect. The kitchen's painted cabinets, and there's like a little hole above the cabinet and stuff like that. So it's not perfect, but I think it's got a lot of nice features. The flooring that's in here is good. And yeah, I would say that this one definitely gets a passing grade. The backyard is the real showpiece of the home. Big mature trees, and you've got, there's even a crescent that sort of pies out over here, so you don't have a lot of neighbors right on you. The backyard is certainly the showpiece of this home. 60 by 120 foot lot at 480. You just can't find this kind of stuff every day in Dorset Park. So I think whoever finds this home is definitely going to be happy with it. And if you go back to the front shot there, What a lot of people have done with this model is they've actually extended the top part right over the garage. So you do have the opportunity for a little bit of upstairs expansion as time goes on. And plus there's a finished basement too. So that one's looking really, really nice. Savaline is $494,500, and so it's a Plan 5 corner. It's 1624 square feet. And there's no way they're getting these. I see this model all the time list for close to 500, and they sit there for months and months and months. I just don't see it. Carpet, basic kitchen, no appliances, no way. They do have the brick, which a lot of them don't have, all brick on the outside, but it just seems like a big waste of time. Carber is $499,997. They were up in the fives. It's a 1938 square foot home. Nice finishes here. They have a chance. I still think that it seems a little bit high, close to 500,000. But there are some nice things about this home that could sway a buyer to pay a little bit more. Holloway is $519. It's a semi-detached, and I'm guessing it's the Azalea model, which we saw at one list, I think on Thursday or Friday of last week at 45, and it sold fast. And we have seen the Azalea go up in the fives. I don't know what kind of upgrading they're dealing with here. I would say without a finished basement, it would be a tough sale. I could see resistance for sure at that price. Jelinek is $519,900. So this is one of the Mattamy corners. It's all brick. I think it's got a terrific layout. You've got a bit of a turret style in the front there and upstairs. The kitchen's nice and functional, although I would have changed that hood fan for sure. Just having a white one, I think, eliminates the overall feeling you get when you're in the kitchen. And the rest of it looks pretty good too. Hardwood landings, upgraded counters in the bathrooms. Homes around this size, or even a bit smaller, have sold up around 510, which at the time I thought was high, but it's going to help these guys. And there's not a lot of good stuff for sale right now. So I think that comparing across, there was an L model that was for sale on, I don't know, Pringle or something like that. Bottom line, I think these guys could do it, and there's just not a lot of good stuff. So this one on Rule is actually about 300 square feet smaller. It's another Plan 5 corner. It's more upgraded, but there's no way they're getting $528,999. I know they have a finished basement. I appreciate that. Let's just say the finished basement added on the top end $15,000 to $20,000. You subtract that off the asking price. You say, are these guys going to sell for $510,000? I don't think so. So good luck with that. I think I know what the answer is going to be in about 30 days. As we're going to see the price come down. Diamond is $529,000. Same thing with this one here. I mean, it's $530,000. It's a single car garage. There's limits there. It's about 21 something square feet plus a finished basement. It has a very nice layout. I just think that there's going to be resistance from people for paying for a single garage at $530,000 when there are some pretty good double garage options. Clover Park is $529,000. It's in the Bronte Meadows area, so it's around sort of Derry and Bronte. And so you've got 4 bedrooms. The kitchen's a little bit old school. I mean, this compares with something, for example, like the one we have on Hawthorne for sale. The bonus with this one is you've got finished living space, but it doesn't look like it's quite as cared for as the one on Hawthorne, but it's in a pretty good range. Now, there's another more upgraded one on Clover Park that I believe has dropped their price too, so that's definitely competition. Carbert, $539,000. Excellent price for this. I mean, they have a bunch of boxes here, which I guess is the flooring or something like that. 2,300 square feet. It's a Plan 6. It's one of my favorite floor plans. And yeah, you've got a little bit of siding on the outsides with some stone and some hardwood floors. There's a separate office on the main floor. There's only 3 pictures here, but trust me, this model, if you're okay with the siding on the outside, is a fantastic floor plan. 4 bedrooms upstairs, plus laundry, plus the family room. It's outstanding. So I think that this one here, compared to the single garage stuff, not even close. This one gets my vote for sure. Granke's at $550,000. It's about maybe 100 square feet bigger than the previous one, a little bit more than 100 square feet. And they've got some nice upgrades as well. So at $550,000, the same model split up into 5 bedrooms instead of 4 bedrooms with a really nice kitchen and main floor. Just got an offer at $569,000, so I think these guys priced it right on the nose at $550,000. A lot smarter than doing $549,900 because now you're bridging 2 price ranges. So it's fully fenced, which you can't even brag for a lot of these ones, and I think that it's a good deal there. Potts Terrace, $569,900. Potts is a lovely street. If you don't live on Potts, you really don't go on it. The home itself is about 2,200 square feet. It's called an Albion Bay. The upstairs actually has pretty nice room sizes, but I find the main floor is a little small. The kitchen's a little bit small, and at 569, I think they're getting their butts handed to them by other listings in the same range. This one on Pringle is at 577.9. It's about 2,400 square feet, 36 by 90, 4 bedrooms. It's a pretty good floor plan. There's a pass-through window between the kitchen and the dining room, and maybe, I don't know. I mean, it seems a little bit high compared to the stuff that you could buy. You could buy that same size of house, just like we profiled, for 550. So at 577, they're a little bit beyond the market and what it can bear. This one on Mountsburg is at 669. It's about an acre. And based on the pictures, with that sort of long, winding driving trail, you'd think it would be a lot more. It's got a lot of charm to it. I think the architectural features. I mean, it's sort of that 70s. I'm big into the kind of 60s, 70s look, and they definitely have some neat stuff going on here. For the size of the lot and for the size of the house, I'm not sure. The other thing to be careful of, excuse me, if you go to stopthequarry.ca, if you look at where the zone is this home is actually just a little bit above that zone. So you do want to definitely pay attention to what's happening with if there's going to be a quarry there or not. Reese Court is 699. I think it's a terrific home. It's about 2,800 square feet, just over. And you've got some hardwood floors here. And the kitchen looks good. It's a 50 by 100 foot lot. So it's one of those nice, Mattamy either did a 56 by 80 or they did, like, a lot of their lots were 80, 90 feet. This is one that had the width and it also had the depth. So 50 by 100, I think, is one of the best lots that you'll find in some of the older parts of town. Plus they've finished the basement. So 28 plus a finished basement, plus a great lot, plus you've got green space behind. I think this one's a deal. When you look at what else you can get for $699, it's not even close. This one compares very well to the competition. Those are going to be nice sort of private growing trees. This is an unbelievable deal, I think. So Cavell is at $749, and so we're dealing with a bigger home than the previous one. And it's about 3,700 square feet plus a finished basement, so they're more than 5,000 square feet of living space. I would say I don't know many people that need 5,000 square feet of living space, so that can sometimes affect the return on investment versus a 1,300 square foot townhouse that finishes the basement. That becomes very usable space. So it is something to look at, is like, how much other space do you have when you're considering finishing the basement here. But all looks good. The pool table is one of those things, if you're into that thing, or if you always imagined having a pool table in your basement, it could definitely capture your imagination. Same model with a finished basement, and again, a little bit more basic, has been for sale on Crozier Crescent for a long time at the same price. So I don't know if these guys are really set up for success based on the history for the one on Crozier, but it's anyone's guess. I mean, this one could show better in person than the one on Crozier. So first line is 829. It's about 1.5 acres. And a very similar home is actually for sale on Campbellville Road, and that one is actually in the Hamilton district, so the taxes are a lot higher than this one here. The sunroom just off the kitchen and everything else. So the one on Campbellville is priced around the 829. This one with the better taxes, it might be okay. It's not. I don't think I'm jumping all over the place screaming it's a deal, but it's solid. It's decent. That's about what you get for that price when you look at the size of the home. Inglis Drive is 1.2. And a little bit lighter coloring, which I think is dating the home a little bit. And I mean, it's one of those things, like, at this price point, you're looking at just over an acre, lots of landscaping. I mean, we're talking, from that picture alone, you could probably see $150,000, which they don't always get back when they sell. It's a 3-bedroom plus 3 downstairs. So the bungalow, with a big footprint on a bungalow, having the basement, especially if it's a walkout, can really add a lot of functional space to the home. So that's the list for today. It's 32 listings. Hopefully it didn't take too long for you, but I think there's definitely some standouts. Probably not as many as the usual average when we've got more than 30. There might only be 2 or 3 that I'd highly endorse, and then there's some okay stuff. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes.